Hi, I'm Bob Dodge with Artemis Gallery. I started Artemis Gallery a little over 20 years ago, and like most of you, I started out as a collector. Last week, one of our clients sent me an email saying, why isn't there a standardized set of conditions in the antiquities industry? And I thought that was a wonderful question because one dealer may describe one piece as choice, and that has a very different meaning from another dealer that may describe a piece of entirely different condition as choice. So let's go through what I would define as the various conditions of pieces that you might acquire. So at the top end of the spectrum, we're going to look at a piece that we would describe as choice. So this vessel, it's a little Greek anakoi with a beaked spout. This is a vessel that we would consider to be choice. And when I say choice, it means there's no repairs. There are no areas of repaint. There may be minor flaws, but you have to consider this is a piece that's 2,350 years old. It's not going to be perfect. So a choice piece in the antiquities world, in my definition, is a piece that is in wonderful condition, strong paint, no chips, no repairs, no repainting. Everything about it is pretty much like it was when it went into the ground over 2,300 years ago. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't find pieces that are absolutely perfect. And if we're going to have a piece that is absolutely perfect with not even the slightest flaw, then we would call that flawless. They're very rare, they do come around, but choice is about as good as it gets in the industry. So this is a piece that I would consider to be choice. Next in the spectrum would be near choice. So an item like this is a Roman bronze eagle. It looks almost flawless, but there are a couple of minor things that we would call flea bites. If you look right here on the wing, there's minor scuffing going on. If you look in the back till, there's a minor chip. So this is a piece that in most collections is in very, very good condition, but we would call this near choice. Wonderful piece, great condition, beautiful patina, wonderful presence, but it's not choice. It's got minor losses, so we wouldn't consider this to be choice. Next would be excellent. So a piece like this piece of Roman glass, I would consider to be excellent. And the one thing that degrades this from being choice or near choice, there's a very minor crack. So when we describe this piece on our internet site or in one of our auctions, we would call this excellent with a stable crack on the rim of the vessel. We try and be very specific about if there's damage, we try and identify where that damage is so that when you get it, there are no surprises. So this piece I would call excellent to near choice with just one little flaw to detract from it. Next, we've got excellent with minor restoration. So here is a fabulous piece of pre-Columbian pottery from the Colima region of Mexico. And there are a few repairs on this. They're almost invisible repairs, and you'd have to look very, very closely to see them. But the little button on the top of his head has been repaired. There's a repair on the back of the spout, but the body itself is intact, no repairs, no repainting. So we would consider this piece to be excellent, but with repairs. So this is about fourth in line of condition, still in very, very good condition, wonderful vessel, very presentable, very acceptable, but it does have a couple of minor repairs. After that, we would have a vessel like this. All right, so this I would consider to be good to excellent. You can see that there is a repair that runs all the way around the entire top of the head. So this is a repair that has not been covered or repainted. So this is a repair as it looks when it was glued back together. So that's presentable. But if you look very closely at the spout, there is a difference in the coloration from about right here to right here in this section here. So this has minor restoration. So vessel is original. The spout up to about the first inch is original, but the top portion of the spout has been remade. So this is brand new clay. You can also see that the bird has been reattached. So the bird is original. It's a whistle. It works wonderfully. It's a very lovely piece, but excellent to good with minor restoration. Next, we'll look at a piece that shows considerable restoration. So on its face, this appears almost to be choice to near choice. But if you take a very close examination, you can see that the entire surface has been repainted. So if we took acetone, which I think I talked about in one of my other videos, I could probably strip the entire decoration off to see what the vessel looked like when it was put back together. So this piece, absolutely ancient, but the scene has been repainted, and my guess is there are probably sections of the body that have been certainly put back together, if not new clay added. So a lovely vessel, but the painted decoration isn't as it was when it came out of the ground, isn't as it was when it went into the ground. So it's a striking piece, but we would call this restored. After that, we would look at a piece that we would call fragmentary. So here's a wonderful piece, a large fragment of a Mayan urn, beautiful mask, but as you can see, most of the vessel is gone. So this vessel would have been probably 15 inches in diameter, and all that's left right now is this section of the mask. And very striking, the mask itself, I would say, is in excellent condition. You can see that there's some cracking here. Lots of original paint and pigments. So it's a polychrome example, meaning 3 colors, but it's a fragment. So when we describe this, we would call this a fragment in excellent condition. And then finally in this spectrum, we would have what is just fragmentary. So here's a piece, Proto-Mayan, missing the head, missing a portion of the foot, lots of erosion to the surface itself, a little bit of original black pigment, but this is a fragment. So not to say that it's not worthy of collecting. It still has some nice attributes. It's got a very nice torso and body. You can see some of the original jewelry that adorned this piece, the loincloth, but this is a fragment, and we would call this fair to good because, you know, it's in comparison to the other pieces, just not there. So when you're looking to buy ancient art, try and understand what your dealer is using as their definition for condition. If they call something choice, it should mean that there is no repainting, no repairs. If they say it's excellent, find out what keeps it from being perfect. Where are the repairs? Where are the flaws in the piece? Because the more you know about the piece itself, and the more you understand the flaws in it, the better you're able to make a decision on whether it's right for your collection. This is Bob with Artemis. Thanks so much.